Hey, what is up, my YouTube people? This is TheKillerNacho again, and I have a battle against Fat Jesus, who is a guy I have not battled in quite some time, and you might remember earlier we battled a lot, and interestingly enough, we're both bringing a sandstorm team, so it should be a fairly interesting battle, as both of us built around the sandstorm, but yeah, obviously let the best sandstorm team win. So I'm going to lead with my Hippowdon, as he leads with Gliscor. I really don't have a whole lot to do to Gliscor, being that my Hippowdon is, I believe, only attack is Earthquake. And obviously that's not going to really do a whole lot to that thing. So I go out to my Starmie, and yeah, he ends up going for the knockoff, which is basically the worst thing that could happen. I kind of thought that maybe he tried to set up Stealth Rocks or something, or basically I thought that he would try everything but that. Or, you know, set up some status, I don't know. But that knockoff really does hurt, because it gets rid of my choice specs, not to mention it cripples my Starmie. It's not the Starmie I usually use. I usually use bulky Starmie because I like it a lot. But, yeah, this is a more offensive Starmie, but this time it got wrecked. And I'm just going to go for the trick here, and there's actually not really much point to it, obviously. I'm just going to steal this thing's item, and thought it would be leftovers. I just kind of wanted to make this thing less bulky. Ended up getting a Rocky Helmet, not that it matters, I'm dead. But yeah, that's could have gone a lot better early on. So I go out to my Clefable. And, yeah, I'm hoping that my Clefable, after a Calm Mind, can take whatever this Gastrodon really wants to do. So I do go for that, as I get up some special attack and special defense, as he continues to go for a Scald, which, even if it burns, it doesn't matter, because I have Magic Guard, and I should be able to take that pretty nicely. And as you can see, I do. So he goes down to Metagross now, and that's a pretty good play, because, obviously, the thought of a Steel move scares me immensely. And, yeah, I'm not going to outspeed most Metagross, especially if it's Mega Metagross, which I was thinking at the time. So I am going to switch out. Even though I do have the Flamethrower, probably could have killed it. But, like I said, don't want to risk taking a Steel move. And he ends up just going for the Zen Headbutt and missing, so I probably could have taken that had I predicted it. Well, yeah, the miss was... Obviously, I would have been able to kill it if it missed. But you get what I'm saying. So he goes back into Gliscor's side to set up my Stealth Rocks. It's a pretty good thing to set up, even though most of his Pokemon aren't really going to get affected by it too much. He's going to go ahead and knock off my item, which is, okay, I suppose. It's just an item that sets up... It's the Smooth Rock thing. It's, makes my Sandstorm last longer. Not that it really matters, since all of his Pokemon don't really get hurt by it either. In fact, I might actually be helping him more than hurting him at this point, so... Sure. Anyway, I'm just going to go for an Earthquake against this incoming Clefable. I really don't do much to it because obviously this thing is physically bulky. So, yeah, that's not too great. He's going to try to Moonlight here as I also try to heal here. And then I was going to roar him away in case he wants to try to set up, which he ends up, I believe, trying to set up with a Calm Mind. So, it's a pretty good thing that I did that and stuff. And, yeah. Alright, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, folks. Here's the Calm Mind, and I'm going to roar him away. So, there you go. You see, it does happen. I have to slow down a bit. Alright, so there's the Whirlwind. I'm going to go ahead and Whirlwind him out into the Tyranitar, which is actually okay for me. I'm going to try to just go for the Earthquake. Trying to, you know, hopefully that he'll predict something else, like a switch or something. Really, there's no reason for him to, you know, risk it and stay in, so I probably could have Whirlwinded instead. I was hoping that he'd predict the Whirlwind and try to stay in and do damage to me. Which is why I go for the Earthquake here, but doesn't really work out in my favor, as, yeah, this Gliscor is just going to completely wall me. Now, he is going to use Fling, which is a cool move on Gliscor, because it's a way to inflict toxic damage, and, yeah, he's going to get the toxic off my Hippowdon, which is obviously not very good, as I do roar him out this turn, and I roar him out into the Metagross, and, yeah, I believe I tried to go for the Whirlwind here, thinking that he'd go right back into Gliscor. He seemed pretty content about just switching in Gliscor against my Hippowdon. He ends up making a good play and just goes for a Zen Headbutt. And as you can see, that does a lot of damage to Hippowdon. Way more than I thought it would actually do, being that Hippowdon is obviously a very physically bulky Pokemon. At that moment, I'm pretty damn sure that Metagross is Choice Banded, by the way, which means that it is not as Mega. Obviously, you would have Mega Evolved it by now, but, yeah, it's interesting. Choice Band Metagross, judging by that damage. So he's going to go ahead and Calm Mind as I slack off. I want to get some HP back, and, probably should have just continued roaring, but, oh well. I get some HP back, and now I'm going to roar him, because I don't really have anything that can actually... I mean, I do have one thing that can maybe stop this Clefable after a Calm Mind, but it's not really a safe switch if it predicts it, so I'm just going to make the safe play and Whirlwind him out. It is going to cost me Hippowdon here. Dropping me to a 6-4 disadvantage early, which obviously isn't great, but I couldn't let that thing stay in with the setup there. Anyway, he ends up getting roared out into Tyranitar again as my Hippowdon does go down, so that is unfortunate. Now, I'm pretty sure that this Tyranitar then is his Mega, so I'm going to go on to my own Mega Metagross. Regular Metagross does outspeed regular Tyranitar anyway, so even on this first turn of Mega Evolution here, I should outspeed him, and I'm just going to go for the Meteor Mash. Now, he could predict this and switch into his own Metagross. I'm hoping that he does not do that, obviously. But even if he does, I know that I should be able to outspeed his Metagross due to it being Choice Banded and Mega Metagross being very fast. So, yeah, I'm just going to go for that Meteor Mash, and he ends up staying in. Kind of a poor play on his part because it's going to make him lose his Mega Tyranitar, which is a very strong Pokemon, obviously. You never really want to lose it. So it comes back into this Slugger thing, and this is the thing that I thought he would go into on the Meteor Mash, actually, because obviously it is pretty bulky and resists my Meteor Mash. So I'm going to go out in my Clefable as he goes for an Earth Power. Like I said earlier, I'm pretty confident in this matchup, Clefable against Gastrodon. I don't think that his Gastrodon can really do much to my Clefable, so it's pretty good. Either way, he goes out into his own Metagross again, which is a good play because this Metagross does scare away my Clefable. As I just go for a Soft Boil, just pretty much to get back up to full HP. I kind of figured he would probably try to go out into Metagross here, or if he tried to attack me, obviously I'd want the HP back, so yeah. He's going to go for the Earthquake here, and I stayed in knowing that I should, unless he goes for the Meteor Mash, I should be able to survive anything he goes for, and to see what he lock himself into. And thankfully, obviously, it is a Meteor Mash. He just goes for the Earthquake, predicting my Metagross. And I'm just going to go into Zygarde here. This is a somewhat physically bulky Zygarde, so I'm thinking that I should be able to take the Earthquake okay. Obviously not great, but okay. It's still Choice Band Metagross here. And as you can see, I do take it pretty nicely. Zygarde's bulk is excellent. And, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Glare, which is a cool move that Zygarde can learn. This is a, if you couldn't tell, bulky Zygarde set. And I am getting the Glare on the Clefable, which is actually the one status condition in... Actually, I guess that's wrong. Sleep, obviously, and Freeze. It cares about those things, too. But obviously, Toxic and Burn doesn't do anything to Clefable, but Paralysis still does. It's still going to lower its speed and give it a chance to freeze in its Paralysis. So... yeah, I'm just going to go into my own Metagross here. Seems like it's a pretty nice switch in as he just goes for a Moonblast. Thank God he didn't predict that and go for a Fire move, since almost every Clefable has a Fire move. And, yeah, he just doesn't want to take my Meteor Mash, but here I make probably the prediction of the game. I'm just going to go for the Zen Headbutt, knowing that he'd probably go on to the Slugger thing, and I'm hoping that Mega Metagross can take hit and just 2-hit KO this thing. And as you can see... Zen Headbutt is a 2-hit KO on Gastrodon, which is super legit, and that is pretty much blows the game open for me, because now I don't really need to actually predict on my Metagross. I can just go for the best move. I don't have to worry about him switching into that thing, and that includes Ice Punch against this Gliscor. He was hoping I did not have it. A lot of Mega Metagrosses do for, pretty much that very reason, and yeah, I'm able to get that Ice Punch. And it sucks for him. Goes out into Clefable. I need to hit this thing, and I do connect with the Meteor Mash, and that's pretty nice. And at this point, Mega Metagross is looking to sweep. Now, he goes into Alakazam here, which is kind of the thing I thought he should have went in the first place, since regular Alakazam, this could have been his Mega as well, by the way, I was thinking in the back of my head. But I thought he should have went into this, because this is the only thing on his team left that can outspeed me. Now, here I do make kind of a mistake. I wanted to go for the Earthquake instead of the Meteor Mash, because Earthquake is perfect accuracy. I thought that it would kill the Alakazam. Ends up not doing that, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out. Because I want to keep my Metagross just in case I need to outspeed his Metagross. And, yeah, I just go into Clefable, and it's going to die to a Focus Blast plus a Psyshock, so the Psyshock really killed me. But, yeah. I also have Terrakion, which is a Pokemon I have not really used much since Gen 5, but I always kind of liked, and I wanted to fit it onto a team, and that's mainly the reason I made a Sandstorm team, by the way, it is Terrakion, and I am a Choice Scarf Terrakion, so I will outspeed that Alakazam, as well as this Metagross. Though he does a Bullet Punch, it's not quite enough to take me out, so... excellent game there, Fat Jesus. It's definitely interesting. Sandstorm against Sandstorm. He definitely had the advantage early with, what is a 6-4 advantage really early. But Mega Metagross was able to come back. It shows you the power of Mega Metagross. I think it's probably one of the strongest Mega Evolutions in OU right now. And it's, obviously... It can do everything. It can hit really hard, it can tank, and it's also really fast. So it's pretty cool. Today's question of the day is as follows. Leave a comment about your favorite non-video game, whether it be a sport or a board game or tabletop game, things of that nature. Obviously, all of us are video gamers here, being that we are interested in Pokemon. If you're watching this video, probably. As for me, I'd have to probably say Pathfinder RPG, which is basically Dungeons & Dragons, for those who don't know. Although I do like several other things. In fact, I'm a fan of of American football as a sport. But yeah, I thought this would be an interesting question. Leave a comment about that, and see you guys next time. Rate, comment, subscribe if you like this video. Also, keep in mind, my tournament is coming up. My Twitch tournament, it's on the 24th. Make sure you check the video description if you want information on that. And yeah, see you guys next time, hopefully. Bye.